Good morning and welcome back. This is Unit 4, Lesson Practice number 8, Journal page 320, 321. We have for problems 1 and 2, a customer leaves a 15% tip on a $20 meal. Question 1 says, select the expression that represents the value of the tip. So only the tip part, not the final answer. So we're looking at $20 and 15% of 20. So 15%, remember percent means out of 100. That's 15 over 100, which is 0.15. We're going to take 0.15 and multiply that by 20 to get our answer. So looking at our options here, 15 divided by 100 would give us our 0.15. Our answer is D. Number 2, select the expression that represents the total bill. So with the total bill, we're going to have the 100% of $20 and then also the 15% of it. So altogether for that 100%, we're going to write 1.15 times 20. Looking at our options here, C gives us that, and we got to see if there's any other ones. Okay, here they're adding 20 to, this should have been just 0.15 of 20. We don't just multiply the whole numbers, and this would only give us the tip amount. So C would be our answer. Okay, in problems 3 and 4, we have Mauricio is a server at a restaurant. In an average 8-hour workday, he serves 10 tables with an average bill of $45 per table. He typically receives 20% tip on each bill and earns $7.25 an hour. So, how much money does Mauricio earn in a typical day? Well, first we should look at his base pay, regardless of getting any tips. He gets paid $7.25 per hour. And in a typical workday, he works about 8 hours. So if we multiply that, we get 58. And then he typically serves about 10 tables with bills of $45 per table. So we're going to do $45 times the 10 tables. So bills will be about $450. He's going to get 20% tip on the 450. So 20% of 450. Remember, 20% is 0.2, or just take 20 divided by 100. So 0.2 of 450. And when we multiply, we get 90. And then we have to take our grand total. So $90 plus our $58 for a grand total of $148. Let's say the typical tip increased 23% of the bill. By what percent would Mauricio's earnings increase? Show or explain your thinking. So we did the 20% of it, which would be $90. So we're looking at the difference between that. So if I did 0.23% of 450 instead of the 20% of 450, and I work that out, I would get 103.5, so $103.50. So I have to take their difference or percent increase. So whenever we have a change, for a percent of change, we have to take their difference, 161.5, because remember that we're still going to have to add it to the $58 for the day, minus the 148, all over our original amount, 148. So basically you're doing your maximum minus your minimum over the original. Okay, we subtract before we can divide here. So we get 13.5 divided by 148, which is 0.092, and it keeps going. So looking at as a whole percentage there, we multiply by 100. We're going to have about 9% increase. That too, we're not going to round up. Okay, problems 5 through 7. We are using a table of information here. It says, here are some information about 3 parks. Complete each sentence. Golden Gate Park is about blank percent larger than Central Park. So again, we are looking at comparing the two, but we have the word then Central Park. So that will be our 843 in our denominator. And we have to take our difference in the numerator. So you could type this on your calculator. We have 1017 minus 843, which if we subtract those two, we have a difference of 174. And then we simply divide, numerator divided by denominator, and we get 0.206. So this time we're going to round up to 21% larger. Okay, pause this video and try 6 and 7, and then turn it back on to check your answers. Okay, looking at question number 6, we have Longview Lake is about blank percent larger than Golden Gate Park. So Golden Gate Park is our denominator. And we need to take their difference. So this time we're going to do the 2,381 minus the 1,117, which works out to be 1,364. Okay, then we divide, and we get 1.34, and it keeps going there. There's a 1 here, so that's not going to round up. So again, we have a whole number. That means 100% plus the 34%, or take your decimal and multiply by 100. And we have 134% larger for number 6. Okay, and then we have question 7. Is the size of Central Park increased by 200%? Would it be larger than Longview Lake? So if you have an increase of 200%, that means you have 100% of it plus the 200% increase, means you're looking at 300% of an amount. Okay, 300% divided by 100 is 3. So we are multiplying by 3. So we have 843 for the size of Central Park times 3 gives us 2,529. So it's going to be greater. Yes. And this is your explain. Okay, we're on to page 321. Question number 8, which is matching each situation. This is a spiral review. Match each situation to an equation. So I will start with 8A and 8B, and then I want you to pause the video, try to match up the rest, and then turn the video back on to check your answers. We have Tay sleeps for X hours. Omar sleeps 20% less than that. So 20% less means 80% of. So we're going to have something 0.8 of X. So looking at our list, here we have Y equals 0.8X, because 80% means 80 divided by 100, which is 0.8. Tay practices piano for X hours. Omar practices for 40% less than that. So 40% less means 60% of. And there's our B. Y equals 0.6 of X, because 100% minus 40% is 60% of. and 60% is 0.6. All right, go ahead and try the rest of those and then come back and check your answers. Okay, if you completed this, we have D, we have C, we have F, and we have E.